Alrighty, welcome ladies and gentlemen to another episode of Smite Builds. Today we have our lovely KUANG back with his mighty sword and a brand new kit that's definitely different than what he used to be. So with that being said, he's most relatable to gods like Freya, Kronos, old school Zeus as far as the way they build. So let's go right into the build itself, starting with the active this time. For some people, they don't really like Haste Ventalis. If you don't want Haste Ventalis and want to use the item slot for like a stacking item, or you can go with like a cooldown reduction item or a more defense item, whatever the case may be, you can switch it out. And if you still want the similar effect of that, you can go for sprint in the top left, the top level 3 tier, whatever you want to call it. That gives you the same effect, sort of, minus the attack speed. So this will increase your speed, also makes you immune to slows for the duration, and the main thing here is you no longer have the movement penalty while firing. So you can use your basic attacks while moving without having that movement penalty as you normally would, and that's what Haste Ventalis does. So, but if you don't really care for that and you like Haste Ventalis, you know, just stick with Haste Ventalis. It's going to allow you to attack faster, of course, move faster, and main thing is being able to stick on your enemy and they can't really escape you. So, with that being said, let's go into the actual items itself, starting with Shoes of Magi. If you prefer cooldown boots, go with the cooldown boots. Demonic Grip. Demonic Grip is another core item. The three main core items obviously is the boots, Demonic Grip, Rod's Hoodie, and then you can kind of play with that from there. Some people still like Polynomicon, some people don't. It's kind of up to you. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. So Demonic Grip, that's the main thing you want to have on you. Try to get it, you know, as soon as possible. Depending on what game mode, you might want to go like a stack item early on, like Conquest or whatever the case may be. But moving on from Demonic Grip, Haste Ventalis, like I said earlier, to help stick onto your targets. Obsidian Shard is really mainly to get a lot of magical power all in one item. You can switch this out with something else if you feel like you have too much penetration already. But having Haste Ventalis, the thing about Haste Ventalis is that obviously it has no magical power, and therefore you're missing out on a lot of magical power. So if you are going to go with Haste Ventalis, try to make it up with some type of high magical power item if you want. Just keep, you know, some of those things in mind. Moving along, Polynomicon. Polynomicon, it's definitely not an item to get early on anymore, since it's only 50% on the passive. It used to be 80%, and before that, like 85, then 100%. But being only 50%, you probably want to get this like later on in the game, so it can actually do some decent damage. And then finally, Rod to Hoodie to capitalize our magical power. So this is just one build. There's many builds you could do out KUANG, so feel free to experiment, try different things that suit for you. But for now, let's go ahead and test out some damage on the poor robot. That's probably negative, no items. So with this build, currently we have 475 magical power. And let's start with our 2 that buffs our basic attacks and swing away. Chop, chop, chop. It's like if we were an assassin and we just blended him up into little pieces. So pretty much what happens there when you pop your 2 and then have Pionom at the same time, your next basic attack is going to hit multiple times. It's going to hit really hard. So let's do our 3. Oh, I got blinded. Yeah, use our 3, got him down to about 20%. Chop him up. Life is good that way. Next, actually, let's do our 1. Nice, decent amount of percentage. Chop him up, chop him up. So some people may be wondering, what about Telekind's Ring? Telekind's Ring is alright. The 40 additional damage is not that massive, but if it works for you, then it works for you. Go ahead and feel free to try that and let me know how that works for you. So that's gonna wrap it up for the build. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.